Welcome to SFL Honors, SFL Nation. 50 plus of you and company joining in here on another wonderful show. Sorry for the delay. We were really hoping to bring you the top 10 plays tonight. We have just had a day. But we're going to get it to you. We're going to get it to you in due time. With me, alongside me, as he has been all season long, Stephen Mullenix, along for the ride. How you doing, Stephen?
Hey, hello, SFL Nation. Hey, what a way to end it right here, the SFL Honors. Put a nice cap to this great season that we had, Season 10, a legendary season, a season of change with many more exciting things to come. For now, today, we look back. Tomorrow, we look forward.
Yes, we do. Re-signing starts tomorrow, so this is one last look at Season 10. And we've got a lot to get to tonight. First, we're going to go through end-of-season honors. Then we're going to get to Pro Bowl rosters. We also have the announcement of when the Pro Bowl draft will be. We'll also have, of course, the inaugural class of the SFL Hall of Fame to get to. So we're excited for that as well. 100 bits from PB and Jotter, 50 from Eric JDWA, Heslip also with 100, and we had some bits come through before we were on the air too. So thanks so much for the support, everybody. First tonight on SFL Honors, it's the Coach of the Year Honors. The nominees are Tallahassee Offensive Coordinator Alex Bond, Mexico City Defensive Coordinator Ramos Lynn, Sioux Falls Offensive Coordinator Jason McGee, and Alaska Head Coach Max Paul. Stephen, what do you think about this list of candidates?
Well, they're all deserving, obviously. Alex Bond there with Tallahassee and the things that he was able to do offensively, we have not seen much of in this league before. With Ramos Lynn, we're talking about the defending champions who came alive at the right time to get into the postseason. Of course, Jason McGee, a legend in this league already, able to secure his place as one of the best coaches in the league. And of course, Max Paul, the championship-winning head coach. So all deserving for all different kinds of reasons. And I think any of them are worthy of this honor.
Well, the Coach of the Year for Season 10 goes to Tallahassee Offensive Coordinator Alex Bond. Stephen, the Tallahassee offense slowed in the championship game, but man, this offense put up some big-time numbers. They were the only team that averaged over 30 points a game, and their offense was nearly unstoppable. And then, showing their versatility late in the season, they got their run game going too.
Yeah, they went undefeated throughout the season all the way up until the championship game. This is not a surprise. Alex Bond, what a wonderful job that he did with those two-star wide receivers, really leading the way in statistical categories. And, of course, their quarterback under center, Christensen, just number one in so many different categories. This was the offensive team that was supported by the best defensive line in the league. Just a powerhouse, Tallahassee, and a real shock they didn't come away with the championship.
So Alex Bond takes it. 1,200 bits from Little Man Michael in the chat. Thank you, Little Man, with the big bit cheer. So loving that. Next SFL honor of the night is the Community Leader Award. The nominees: Mexico City running back Ray Bentley, Vancouver tight end Tristan Carr, St. Louis linebacker Scott LaRue, and Chicago cornerback Kanye Rockefeller. Stephen, this community is growing over 450 members now, and these guys, they're just there all day, every day, chatting it up with everybody and supporting the SFL in a big way.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago, Cam, where we didn't have any type of social community, not like this. We were struggling on Facebook and Twitter, and luckily we found Discord and a community where these four have really picked up the torch to keep people active and keep throwing new hot topics out there, discussing things about the SFL. Really, each one of them deserves this award and some applause because they are the light that's leading us socially, and their voices are big ones in our locker rooms and in our chat rooms, and they deserve appreciation.
The SFL's Community Leader Award goes to Mexico City running back Ray Bentley. Congratulations, Ray. Ray wins the vote. He wins the vote by, I'm trying to get the results here. He had 54% of the vote, so he had the community support Monday through Friday for sure. That guy is always around. So congratulations to Ray. Also, too, we want to give a shout to Alex Bond. He also received a whopping 51% of the vote on Coach of the Year honors. The next category is the Community Team Award for outstanding participation in social media and within the community. And the nominees are the Alaska Storm, the Dallas Roughnecks Lobos, the Indianapolis Red Devils, and the Vancouver Legion. Stephen, these teams are visible, these teams are creative, these teams set that standard in the SFL.
Yeah, these teams go above and beyond what many of the others do. They just take things to another level within their team channel, on Twitter, on Facebook. These guys have identities. These guys have regular social posts. I know us in Dallas, we created a Nike campaign. We created sports cards for our players, and it's really just fostering a community within your team of being a real, actual team, supporting each other, getting adulation and joy from all the achievements that you do together, progressing together. It is really a community thing, and these four teams do it the best.
Shout out to BA Mike Foxtrot with the 1,000 bits and the Let's Go. Thanks for the cheer. By one vote, the Team Community Relations Award goes to the Dallas Roughnecks and Lobos. Congratulations, Stephen. Your team had a rough year this year on the field, but man, off the field, you guys really came together in a big way, and I think the community noticed.
Wow, thank you so much. And by one vote, that's amazing. Yeah, we were on as far as the stats were concerned, as far as the standings, we were the worst team in the SFL, and I am so proud of the team members that we picked up and the ones that started from the very beginning, that stayed with us and stayed active. And we try to do our best to get them involved throughout the season and to have something to look forward to. Quality guys, I just got to give that award to them. I have some really quality people that are on the team that even through our hardest times, they stuck with us.
Next up on SFL Honors, the nominee for Game of the Year. The selections: Indianapolis and Tallahassee's quarterfinal, Vancouver and San Antonio's nail-biter in Week 9, Alaska and San Antonio's tremendous front-page game in Week 6, the quarterfinal victory, the first playoff victory for Sioux Falls against Queen City, and Week 10 had a couple of doozies: the Tallahassee Mexico City nail-biter and the Atlanta comeback over Carolina in Week 10. And we'll get your thoughts, Stephen, in a moment once we announce the winner of Game of the Year. With 26% of the vote, the Indianapolis and Tallahassee quarterfinal. What a game that was, Stephen. And when we redo our top 10 games of all time, I'm guessing that's going to be somewhere in the mix.
Yeah, what a tremendous game that was. And, Indianapolis able to go toe-to-toe with the juggernaut that was Tallahassee this season. Each one of these games was important for different reasons. I think of Queen City and Sioux Falls, what that win meant for the Sparrows. Carolina, Atlanta, the comeback game of the year for me. Just how they were down by so much to come back. But Indianapolis, Tallahassee is your winner of the quarterfinals. A nail biter. And understandably so, considering how important that was.
Next up on SFL Honors, it's the General Manager of the Year award. The 4 nominees are the Dallas GM Crash Combs, the Carolina GM AJ Francis, the Houston GM Ryan Michaels, and the London GM Slyn Shady. And there's a lot more GMs coming into the league here in the offseason. Stephen, as general manager, is quickly becoming a very important position in the SFL.
Yeah, and a gateway to ownership for a lot of aspiring owners. But this is one of the more difficult categories to vote for, just because these general managers are so involved within their own teams. If you're not on that team, you're on the outside, you don't get to see entirely all the work that they put into it. But you just kind of hear through the grapevine some of the great things that each one of these GMs are doing. And, a lot of times these guys are also pretty social people there on Discord, but really hard to judge as far as what a great job they did within their teams, outside of their teammates or the guys that are underneath them that are just, singing their praises.
The winner of the SFL's General Manager of the Year award by 12% of the vote, gaining a total of 39% of the vote, is Houston Hyenas General Manager Ryan Michaels. Congratulations, Ryan, on the honor and the award for your outstanding work in the Houston Hyenas locker room and organization in Season 10. Next up are the moments of the year, and we've got them all for you to play. We'll find out who wins after we take a walk down memory road, or memory lane, whatever. Yeah. Moments of the year right now.
Semifinals start the 8th of April. One of these two teams are going to be involved in one of those semifinal clashes. Punt from Finch, it's blocked! No way! Down in the Indy, Red Devils will take possession, but it does not matter. 4th down goes nowhere, and Tallahassee already has it in field goal range.
I don't believe it. I'm sick to my stomach for the Indy Red Devils.
This is huge. 51, even for a star kicker, is not necessarily a gimme. You can have a lot of things go wrong. Under 3 minutes to go, the Aztecs to go back up by 2 scores against the unbeaten Pride. Mexico City milking the clock down to 4 on the play clock. The snap is high. The hold is good. There's a penalty marker on the play. The kick is good. What's the flag? Don't often see this. What is the flag?
I don't think I saw anybody jump. Let's see.
It's a clip on Mexico City.
Oh, no.
On a field goal. It moves them out of field goal range, and they have to punt.
Yeah, they're not even going to be close on a clipping call. That I have never seen here in the SFL.
Oh, he didn't even do anything. He did nothing. Look at this. What did he do?
Yeah, that's a terrible call.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
And we've seen some magnificent plays by Manning tonight.
2 in the backfield. 1st and 10 at the 20. Luyendula's pass is intercepted at the 13-yard line. And back coming, 35-40. It's Major Key. He's trying to get his second. And Key has got a touchdown.
Wow, Cam. Unbelievable. Not only do you get the interception to essentially seal the game, you take it through a crowd right down the middle of the field for the touchdown for your second of the night.
Ball game is on the foot of Johnny Omega. He does have a miss from earlier, doinked it off the right upright. The left foot, on the right hash. Snap is good. Hold good. Kick is on the way to save their season. It's good! 43 yards, and it's all the way through. That is a walk-off field goal for Johnny Omega and the OKC Renegades, and they save their season in the waning seconds.
Yep, Mexico City. And he avoids the pressure. Sir Charles stepping up. Will throw it. And he's got a man in the back of the end zone. Did he get it? He did! Touchdown, Tulsa! Are you kidding me?
Corey Jones? Why not?
Corey freaking Jones. Unbelievable.
Finch standing on her own 20-yard line. Gets the ball away from about the 25. Steve by Reed. Reed makes a man miss, makes two men miss, and they could go. He broke through everybody. One man to beat, and he's gone. Past the punter. 30, 20, 10, 5. Score! Put it on the board. Davius Reed may have just sent the crowd home happy with his second return touchdown of the game in overtime.
Man, Steven, some of those are painful for some, memorable for others. These were the most memorable moments of the season. Not necessarily top plays, not necessarily, not necessarily the most outstanding plays, but these were the moments in time that people remembered from the season. And we'll get the one that stands out to you in just a second. But we do have a winner with 28.7% of the vote. The most memorable moment of the SFL's 10th season was the clipping call against Mexico City that prevented the Aztecs from taking down the undefeated Tallahassee Pride. Steven, you and I called that game. Is that the moment that sticks in your mind from the season, or was it something else?
No, that there was just so much talk afterwards, so many memes created afterwards. I had a feeling that would be the one, but looking back at all of these great plays, the two that really stand out to me are the Chicago punt return touchdown in overtime, and just how much blocking he did not have. When he got into the end zone, there was about 5 or 6 guys in front of him, which just makes that return that much more incredible. And of course, that Tulsa Hail Mary touchdown pass for the win at the end of the game. We just haven't seen maybe a handful of those, and of course, most famously by Mexico the season prior, but those are just rare, and that he caught it in such traffic with so many defenders around him. But yeah, I had a feeling it would be that clipping call, just because, like you have it listed there, how infamous it was.
Crazy. SFL Honors moves on, and now we're getting to the player awards. We start with the Defensive Rookie of the Year nominees, and the nominees are Tulsa strong safety Charles Ball, Tallahassee defensive end Tyquan Hale, Tallahassee defensive tackle Mike Fats Johnson, Tallahassee defensive tackle Hunter Norwood, London linebacker Slynn Shady, and Houston defensive tackle Chad Tackle. And a phenomenal rookie class. Season 11's rookie class has a lot to live up to.
Yeah, most definitely. I say, if we're at the beginning of the season, I think it would have been a runaway with Charles Ball, just because of what a breakout he had really early. But as the season wore on, Tallahassee's defensive line was so dominant. In a year where maybe Slynn Shady or Chad Tackle might have won it, and they might have. I'm just speculating here, but it's almost as if you should probably give it to the entire defensive line for Tallahassee. All of them had double-digit sacks, but let's see what the populace said, who they picked as a Defensive Rookie of the Year.
The Defensive Rookie of the Year winner, gaining 32% of the vote, was Tulsa strong safety Charles Ball. Ball had 8 interceptions, first among rookies. He was 6th in the SFL with 13 pass deflections. All 8 of his regular season interceptions came in the first 6 games he played. He also had a pick in the playoffs, and that infamous game against Indianapolis in primetime, which many remember his season by, 3 picks and a kickoff return touchdown against the Red Devils.
Yeah, and look, I'm surprised. It might have been a case to where all those Tallahassee defenders kind of neutralized each other in the voting, but congratulations to Charles Ball, not taking anything away from him. If we would have voted that first half of the season, absolutely it would have been him by a landslide here. But this guy, we saw him a couple times, and he was just electric from the get-go, and probably someone that SFL offenses game planned around as the season went on. That might be the reason for his, lower numbers as the season went on.
Bigsby004, thanks for the 100 bits. Now, next to the Offensive Rookie of the Year awards, the nominees are Carolina running back A.J. Francis, Indianapolis quarterback Nathan Lee, Indianapolis wide receiver Eli McCormick, Houston running back Warren Murray, Oklahoma City quarterback Deacon Nickens, and Tallahassee wide receiver Duke Wilson. This was a talented class of rookies on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, truly.
Yeah, tough choices here. I mean, all of these guys are certainly worthy of it. Made big splashes this season. Warren Murray, what a great running back for Houston and a great tradition of running backs. Can we talk a little bit about Deacon Nickens and his transition from owner to quarterback and just what an impact he had with Oklahoma City, dragging them into the playoffs. And last but not least, Duke Wilson there on the list. The dude just averaged a plus 20 yards a catch, led the SFL in touchdown receptions on a team that had Ken Gossett opposite of him. Duke Wilson was actually the number 2 wide receiver, which is amazing. Nathan Lee, Eli McCormick out of Indiana, helping lead that team to the playoffs, and A.J. Francis taking over for a legendary Carolina and doing him proud, all worthy.
With a whopping 48% of the vote, the winner for Offensive Rookie of the Year, Tallahassee wide receiver Duke Wilson. 1,802 receiving yards, first among rookies, 21 touchdowns, first in the SFL. He's one of only 3 players now in SFL history with at least 100 career receptions to average 17 yards a catch, joined by Daley Holder and Elijah Bishop.
Amazing. What an amazing season there by Duke Wilson. The guy came onto the scene immediately and just started scoring long touchdowns, and it seems like he did it throughout the entire season. Whenever they needed a big play, they would go to Gossett. Whenever they needed a deep play, they would go to Wilson. And for everything in between, the guy was simply the best playmaker in the SFL.
All right, next up, the Defensive Player of the Year. The nominees, and there are a lot of them. Vancouver free safety Mahmoud Ajlani, Tallahassee strong safety Charles Ball, Alaska defensive end Alex Dominguez, San Francisco Sharks cornerback Merrick Itera, Houston cornerback Ryan Michaels, Tallahassee defensive end Hunter Norwood, Tulsa linebacker Espen Real, and Atlanta linebacker Aquantis Shine.
Well, I think, a sleeper here would be Ajlani. I think this guy had an underrated season in Vancouver, I think he played well. Alex Dominguez, of course, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, is always a favorite from year in to year out. Even with Tallahassee coming across with so many big sack numbers. And, of course, the now, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Charles Ball. Does he add another trophy to the trophy case?
The winner of the Defensive Player of the Year award goes to, with 32% of the vote, Alaska defensive end Alex Dominguez. 19 and a half sacks this year, first in the league. 31 tackles for loss, that was second in the league. He's had at least 17 sacks in 3 straight seasons, and his 67 and a half sacks is number 1 all-time in the SFL by 27 and a half.
Oh, amazing. And let's not forget that he made the position change from inside the defensive line to outside to defensive end and still put up monster numbers.
Coming up next, it's the Offensive Player of the Year. The nominees are Mexico City running back Ray Bentley, Tallahassee quarterback Christian Christensen, Alaska quarterback Ron Cochran, Tallahassee wide receiver Ken Gossett, Queen City running back Ash Odom, and Tallahassee wide receiver Duke Wilson.
Well, could this be another case where all of these Tallahassee players kind of cancel each other out and someone comes up amongst them? If the one person was to do it, I would probably say Ron Cochran, the most accurate passer in the SFL, who just won a championship for Alaska. That might be the favorite.
The winner of the SFL's Offensive Player of the Year award for Season 10 is Mexico City running back Ray Bentley with his second winning award of the night. Ray Bentley, 1,604 rushing yards in the league. That was third this year, but his 12 rushing touchdowns were first. He had 359 carries this season, most in his career, and his 5,712 career rushing yards now ranks 8th all-time.
Well, that's my bad. I mean, look, Ray Bentley, he had a slow start to the season, but really picked it up as the season wore on and had, that big playoff game. He's the consummate professional here in the SFL. When you talk about running backs, most people talk Ray Bentley first. Just super surprised by the pick, but well-deserved.
And finally, your Season 10 SFL MVP. Your nominees: Tulsa strong safety Charles Ball, Tallahassee quarterback Christian Christensen, Alaska defensive end Alex Dominguez, Tallahassee wide receiver Ken Gossett, Queen City running back Ash Odom, and Atlanta linebacker Aquana Shine. And I'm just going to get right to it because it was the most lopsided vote of everything. 50% of the vote to Tallahassee quarterback Christian Christensen. 4,788 passing yards. That was overwhelmingly first. 41 touchdowns, overwhelmingly first. He was sacked only 19 times, which was fourth amongst quarterbacks who played 12 games. And he is moving up those leaderboards now. 15th all-time, just shy of 10,000 yards with 9,535 for his career.
One of the most dominating performances in SFL history, leading his team to an undefeated record during the regular season and into the championship game. What happened in that championship game should not mark his record. He played so well for so long and consistently played well. Very worthy of this honor. Christian Christensen, congratulations.
Now it's time for the Pro Bowl. We will list all the players by position who have made Pro Bowl rosters. The Pro Bowl draft will be Friday night, right here on Twitch, where coaches Ramos Lynn and Jermaine Smith will pick their players for what should be an epic Pro Bowl. And I've lost my spot amongst the masses of graphics here. Here we go. The SFL Pro Bowl rosters look like this. At quarterback, making the Pro Bowl, Tallahassee's Christian Christensen, Alaska's Ron Cochran, Indianapolis's Nathan Lee, and Sioux Falls's Julian Tyree. The running backs are Ray Bentley from Mexico City, Ash Odom from Queen City, BDG Hollywood from Atlanta, and Warren Murray from Houston. And while we get Steven's thoughts on this initial group, we'll let you know who just missed the cut.
Well, no real big surprises here. I mean, look at these quarterbacks. These quarterbacks are among the best in the league. They all led their teams to the postseason. So easy choices there. Running backs, not so easy, but some of the biggest names in the SFL, of course, Bentley, Odom, BDG Hollywood, and Murray, who was absolutely terrific in Houston. So let's find out who did not make the cut, Cam.
Matt Wilson missed the cut by 4 votes. Deacon Nickens missed the cut by 5 votes. Tom Pepper came in 7th. For the running backs, it was A.J. Francis finishing 5th. He was 7 votes behind Warren Murray.
Wow.
To the whiteouts we go. And a lot of them make the Pro Bowl. Alaska's Optimus Klein, Tallahassee's Duke Wilson and Ken Gossett, Indianapolis's Eli McCormick, Houston's D.R. Sims, San Antonio's Daley Holder, San Francisco's Gabriel Manning, Oklahoma City's Deezer Powell, Alaska's Robert Merrill, and Atlanta's Boo Chisholm. Chris Curtis was next in line. He missed by 6 votes, followed by Badir Ashlani.
Yeah, really, really happy to see some of these names here that are certainly worthy of recognition. Of course, the doctor's always in. D.R. Sim there. Daley Holder, what a terrific season that he had in San Antonio. Manning for San Francisco. Deezer Powell had an amazing season for Oklahoma City. Robert Merrill, of course, the consistent professional. And Boo Chisholm, guy that played big for Atlanta. Glad to see some of those names in there.
Tight ends and D-line is next. For tight ends, it's Queen City's Mike Daggs receiving the most votes. Alaska's Yassine Clifton, St. Louis's Elijah Swaim and Oklahoma City's Tiberius Bobine. Jalen Hurt missed the Pro Bowl by 4 votes, Tristan Carr by 7. At defensive tackle, it's Tallahassee's Hunter Norwood and Houston's Chad tackle. Fats Johnson missed the Pro Bowl by 2 votes. At defensive end, Alex Dominguez from Alaska and Taekwon Hale for Tallahassee get the call. Scott LaRue was a distant third.
Well, I'm personally happy to see St. Louis represented here by Swaim, a guy that has been really consistent for them for the last couple of seasons. Good to see him make this list. Of course, Clifton for Alaska came on strong at the end of the year. Nice to see that his efforts have been awarded here. And I like that tackle made there at defensive tackle. What a good rookie for Houston. Would probably be the talk of the league if it wasn't for all those Tallahassee defenders.
How about the linebackers next in the Pro Bowl? And how about this, Stephen? Slyn Shady had the most votes by 24 in a talented linebacking corps. Slyn Shady crushes the competition in the voting. He gets the most votes at linebacker. He's joined by Atlanta's Aquana Shine, Tulsa's Espen Real, Queen City's Avery King, Sioux Falls' Nick Fargo, Dallas's combination of father and son with Heath McDaniel II and senior, in San Antonio's Obi Okoye Ray West. Another Dallas linebacker missed the Pro Bowl by 2 votes, Dylan Rowland by 5.
Well, let's talk about Shady and the London Knights more specifically. They were known for being a defensive team, and he was their defensive captain, and he really is the face of that franchise. So I'm not surprised, 1, just because he is that for London, and 2, how popular he is on Discord. Of course, we see some of the old hats here that are the regulars for this kind of an achievement. Shine, Royale, King, Fargo, guys that have been in the league for quite some time. Good to see a father-son combination make it in there, just from a personal end. And
will they be on the same team? That's the question,
well, we'll
right?
find out. It's up to Ramos and Destro there.
All right, corners are next. Cornerbacks led by Houston's Ryan Michaels, Chicago's Kanye Rockefeller, Vancouver's Major Key, Indianapolis's Michael and Steve Vitak both make the Pro Bowl. Aaron Arrington from St. Louis, Crash Combs from Dallas, Ryan Davidson from Alaska. Merrick Itera missed the Pro Bowl by 4 votes. B.J. Armstrong and Evan Carroll missed it by 8.
Well, I love seeing Major Keys, Vancouver's. To me, this guy's like Deion Sanders. There were times where he shut down half of the field when we were watching him play, so great to see him there. Of course, we have some really talented and popular GMs that are making this list in Michaels and Combs, and no doubt their popularity helped them get here. And last but not least, the VTech guys representing more family members who are connected here in the league.
Let's go to the safeties. First at strong, Tallahassee's Alex Bond leads the votes. Tulsa's Charles Ball, San Francisco's Max Jackson, and Sioux Falls' A.J. Levy. Nick Daggs, 1 vote shy. And Cody Hill missed it by 6. Free safeties, Vancouver, Mahmoud Ajlani, he won the most votes by 22. Jeffrey Daggs, the free agent, is in there from London. Dallas's Troy LaShaw. Dallas gets 4 Pro Bowlers on defense. In Chicago's Maurice Spurgeon. Sir Chappelle missed it by 1 vote. Anthony Wayo misses by 3.
Yeah, well, look at this group here. This is a talented group of safeties, starting off with Bond and Ball. What a combo they are. Of course, Jackson now, becoming an owner. And, of course, Levi, who's been around the league for such a long time. Good to see him, get that honor. Agilani had a great season and is one of the more underrated free safeties here in the league. Good to see him get a Pro Bowl vote there.
Finally, the kickers and punters, they could be the difference in the Pro Bowl. The kickers that make it, London's Zach Daggs and Mexico City's Cole Varner. Brad Brechet missed the Pro Bowl by 2 votes. And the punters, Indianapolis's Ashley Finch and San Antonio's Arminius Davis. Eric Walsh, a distant third. And those are your Pro Bowl rosters. Again, the draft will be Friday night here on Twitch. Jermaine Smith, Ramos Lynn picking their teams. That's going to be fun. Final thoughts on the Pro Bowl, Stephen, before we take a moment to really cherish this moment and announce our first Hall of Fame class that will be inducted at the convention in July.
That I'm just really excited that we're having a Pro Bowl. We're making this available to all of these great users. Finally, we've been clamoring for it for season upon season, and finally it's here. And we're going to get an opportunity to see the best of the best go head-to-head in one last hurrah before we start the new season.
11 people will make the Pro Bowl. There were 5 votes for league staff and contributors. There were and owners as well. There were 3 selections, from the user player sector of the SFL's history, and then there were 3 players from the non-user old school sector of the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. We start with the
hold on, Cam.
league staff.
Let me just clarify. Yep. I think you said Pro Bowl. I think you meant Hall of Fame.
Yes, I did. Forgive me. So 11 total in the Hall of Fame. 5 from league staff, owners, and contributors. 3 from user players, and 3 from non-user, from the non-user base. The inaugural class of the SFL Hall of Fame. Without further ado, and I start this off by saying that even though I've run this league for God knows how many years, I was honored to be nominated and honored to get in, but this is not about me. This is about all these other guys on this list. Jermaine Smith will be inducted. Eric Barkley, the 4-time champion of Queen City, will be inducted. King Havo, the Hex editor creator, will be inducted. And the league's director of player personnel, Andrew Rostelli, will be inducted. You know, there were a lot of guys on the list, Stephen, and I'm certainly humbled to be one of those guys.
Well, the most deserving, I think we can all agree to that. And look, these guys that are on this list have given so much to this league in many different ways. You know, Jermaine Smith, as our league president, formerly the owner of the DC Dragons, just a stalwart in this league, a guy that's a rock that you can always depend on, a hard worker. And that goes the same with Andrew Rostelli. I mean, has there been another person in our personnel department to make such an impact so early and to give so much of himself and to be so available to not only owners but users alike? Well deserving, even though he hasn't been in the league very long. He's worked more than many of us that have been here for years. Eric Barkley, the 4-time champion, another pretty easy call to make there for the Hall of Fame, well deserving. And King Havo, you know, in a lot of ways, a lot of the guys that are listening here don't know who that is, but certainly we wouldn't be able to play the game the way that we do. We wouldn't be able to have the users and customize their players in the ways that we do, or to play the games the way that we do, without his intelligence and his hard work.
Shoutouts to 2-time champion Thomas Paternitti, 1-time champion Kyle Walsh, Tim Johnston, Michael Irvine, and Ronnie Nickens, who were finalists for the Hall of Fame. They are likely somewhere in the mix of the next class. The back half, but still a very important half, a critical half, more than half of the SFL's inaugural Hall of Fame class. These are your user and non-user players making it. DC Dragons running back, may he rest in peace, Richard Snowden. Houston wide receiver, DR Sim. Mexico City quarterback, Matt Wilson. And then the non-user players, Carolina running back, Johnny English. Minneapolis quarterback, Rocco Marconi. And Minneapolis safety, Koma Kaleka. The finalists on the non-user player side, Parkey Chol, in order of votes received: Parkey Chol, Rick O'Reilly, Pete Bruschi, DJ McCoo, Joseph Redfeather, Billy Joe Casper, Jake Legacy, Nick T. Quick, and James Cooley. On the user player side, the finalists: Eddie Gage, Greg Corky, and Aaron Arrington. It was a tough votes, tough decisions all around by the Hall of Fame voting committee, but there's a lot of great names on this list. I know DR Sim and Matt Wilson are going to be in the building in July to get honored as well. That's going to be a special night.
Yeah, that's going to be during the SFL convention in July. But great to see Richard Snowden's name here. Obviously, has passed away, but I don't think you can think about the DC Dragons and their championship season without him. Just will live forever in the annals of SFL history. These non-user players, if you're here and you're new and you don't know, the majority of our league for the longest time was made of these non-user players, and they mean so much to the league because they give the league history. You know, these names, Johnny English, Rocco Marconi, Koma Kaleka, we users, the ones that watch these games, the owners that were participated, these coaches, they know these names very well. These names were the stars of our leagues before users really showed up. And each one of these guys brings back really pleasant memories for me, as I'm sure it does for a lot of us.
We were in the 70s much of the night in terms of viewership here. SFL Nation showed out for our final look back at Season 10. But we're not done. The top 10 plays of the year will come out on YouTube either tonight or tomorrow. And we're certainly excited to share those with you. What a fun season, Steven. Thanks for being my right-hand man all season long, from kickoff on the front page to the championship to SFL honors here tonight to the re-signing period tomorrow. It all goes full circle and comes back around again. This is it. This is your chance, Steven, here. Your final bow wrap of our 10th anniversary season.
Well, what a wonderful season that it was, and it was absolutely my pleasure not only to be here with you, but to serve these guys that are here in the chat rooms, the guys who've been watching our games. The reason why we have what we have now, it's all you guys, and there's so much to look forward to and so many great things in store, things that you don't even know about, things that I don't even know about yet. But it was just great to be a part of this league, to watch it grow leaps and bounds, and I am so looking forward to the future, my friend. And thank you personally from all of us here at the SFL, from the owners to the coaches to the GMs to the users to the rookies to the guys who just showed up yesterday. I've got to say thank you, Cameron Irvine. This league would not be what it is without you. You are our guiding light, and we just appreciate everything that you do and who you are, and we love you, my friend.
Thanks, buddy. We all love you too. One love, everybody. One for all for one. The Simulation Football League. This has been a presentation of the SFL presented by APM Music on the SFL Network on Twitch TV. For Stephen Mullinex, I am SFL Commissioner and apparently future Hall of Famer Cameron Irvine. Congratulations, everybody, on a tremendous season. Now, let's go out and make a better one in Season 11. Good night.
Dilly dilly.